Hey guys, what's up? Lightboltjoe here. Today we're going to discuss the awesome Marvel Paramount film that came out May 6th, 2011, directed by Kenneth Branagh, Thor. This is the fourth Marvel Cinematic Universe film. We have Agent Coulson as the connecting piece of this. This is our first introduction to Hawkeye, right? Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye. Like I said, it's the fourth Marvel Cinematic Universe film. So much has happened already in the first three films. Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2. So now we have Thor. Paramount Marvel film. We have Nick Fury in the post-credit scene again. So we're introduced now to this character of Thor. We are introduced to his hammer in a post-credit scene in Iron Man 2 of Agent Coulson getting to New Mexico, because that's where Thor and his hammer, Mjolnir, I can't say it, it's a Norwegian word, wind up after their banishment from Odin in Asgard. So we're introduced to the character of Loki, we're introduced to Lady Sif and the Warriors 3. We're introduced to Odin and Odin's wife. We find out the Jotuns, frost giants of Jotunheim versus the Asgardians, where that war came from. We find out that Loki is actually a frost giant baby that was taken as a peace prop, basically, from Odin. We find out so many different things. We find out the world's tree. We find out that Midgard is the term for Earth's realm, that there's 9 realms in the world's tree, and there's the Bifrost, it's a bridge that connects it all, and Heimdall, played by Idris Elba, a fantastic job in every iteration that Idris does. Heimdall is the gatekeeper, basically, sworn to protect the throne, sworn to the king on the throne. So you have Thor being banished because he's a narcissistic brat, basically, to Earth. Meets up with Natalie Portman's Dr. Jane Foster, Dr. Eric Selvig, who taught at university with Jane Foster's father, and then Darcy, who's an intern at a college to get six college credits for the semester, as she so eloquently puts. It takes place in this very small New Mexico town. Loki sends the Destroyer to get rid and eradicate Thor, but the whole Thor breaking into the compound to get his hammer back scene is so iconic, and that's where Jeremy Renner's Clint Barton comes into play as Hawkeye, and it's so cool seeing him ready to shoot Thor down and waiting for orders from Agent Coulson. So it's just a fun way to have all of these beloved characters from the books come into fruition in a nice, eloquent way of putting it into effect. Right? So Kat Dennings as Darcy is so fun. I love Kat Dennings. I've loved her since Charlie Bartlett back in, 2007? She's done nothing but amazing work ever since. So to have her in 2 Marvel films is pretty cool. Not that she's in any other Marvel films aside from Thor and then Thor the Dark World. Same as Natalie Portman. She's only in Thor and Thor the Dark World. They reference her in Age of Ultron. She's off doing something, but that's really it. She didn't ever come back for more stuff, or they didn't invite her to come back for more stuff. I don't know about that. But Chris Hemsworth as Thor, perfect casting. He really didn't do many things prior to this film. He did Cabin in the Woods. He did Star Trek, which was in 2009. He did something else. And it was interesting to have the Hemsworth brothers come from Australia to Hollywood to then start to take over everything. Because then Chris and Liam are just widespread in all films now, and it's just cool seeing the Hemsworth brothers. Yes, there's a third Hemsworth brother. No, we don't see him in doing many things, and that's okay. It's like there's 4 Jonas brothers, right? But no one really references Frankie that much. It's just Nick, Joe, and Kevin in the band, and Frankie's just, around. But he's still a brother of Jonas. He's still a Jonas brother. Little things like that, right? So this was also a very important film because this is the first time at an end credit scene we're introduced to the Tesseract, right, which is one of the Infinity Stones, which they then go full throttle with in the explanations of the rest of the films. But also, this is the first time it says Thor will return in Avengers. So this is the fourth movie. It says a character will return in something. So then, like, at the end of Spider-Man Homecoming, it said Spider-Man will return in Infinity War. Black Panther will return in Infinity War. Ant-Man will return in, Avengers. Well, he wasn't in Infinity War. Endgame. Things like that. It's cool seeing Captain Marvel will return in Avengers Endgame. It's cool seeing that. So this was the fourth film to actually bring that into effect. It was nice. Stan Lee had his beautiful cameo as a pickup truck driver who broke the back of the truck. It's hysterical. It's just hysterical. It's fun seeing this action adventure thriller come into effect. Have these Norse mythology gods depicted as an alien race, as a very strong alien race. So they're still referenced as gods, but they're aliens, technically. And this is the first Marvel film to go into the whole space and Einstein-Rosenstein bridge and wormholes and M3 is not talked about in this. This is all relativity. So you have other Thor: The Dark World goes into that as well. And then obviously Guardians of the Galaxy and Avengers Endgame, Avengers, the first one, goes all about the space stuff and things to that nature. So it's cool seeing all of that because space is a big part. Space travel is a very big part of this Marvel Cinematic Universe. In the first three films, we don't really talk that much about space. And then here we are literally gallivanting through space because of the Bifrost, the bridge that connects all the worlds. Very important. So this film is very important because it like starts more stuff. So it's like a staple, a tree root, if you will, for the trunk to grow and the branches to flourish. Look at that. I brought the world's tree into the mix. What did you guys think of the very first Thor, as in the first Marvel Cinematic Universe Thor? 2011 Thor. Of course, there's 70s iterations, there's 80s iterations, there's 90s iterations, but this 2011 Thor is part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the MCU. And it's very important. Mucho mahalo, guys.